Hi everyone, this side Dr. Abhishek Kumar Singh, Assistant Professor from Ramanujan College, University of Delhi. And today our session is based on digital currency, one of the contemporary portion of the discussion when the government and the RBI mutually initiated and launches digital currency with the help of Central Bank of India. So why there is a need for digital currency and how the time and the era came when there is a no need or the requirement of physical existence of money till date, from where we have started a portion or a concept known as a barter system. So how this era changed overall, and now it is the portion of digital currency. So before initiating and before continuing this portion and this part, the digital currency topic, let me brief about the barter system and from where we have started and where we have right now where we are. It's all about the barter system when there is a exchange of goods and services by the two parties as per their requirement. As per their requirement, they exchange their goods and services, and there are various demerits of this barter system which leads to evolve the need of money, evolution of money. So with the if you talk about the evolution of money, it leads, and the first step is all about metal coins. There are the various stages the money came across, and now the money is disappear. Just look the changes which I am trying to tell you, that earlier during the barter system money was not there. There is no existence of money, there is no physical existence of money. But at the present time also there is a no existence physical existence, and there will be no physical existence of money. The same portion, the same situation, but physically it is not existed money, but digitally all the currencies are available. You can avail the services, you can avail those facility of digital currency which is launched by RBI. So starting with our topic and the discussion, what is money? So there are various functions of money. As you all know and you are aware about money, it is medium of exchange. The basic demerit of barter system that we are not in a position to make the exchange. If the one party is required pen and another one need food, so how we are going to exchange these portion? So the demerit of the barter system is the merit of evolution of money. So with the help of money, we can now exchange our goods and services as the medium of exchange known as a money. Now, unit of account, everything can be counted in a particular unit. You can buy a petrol in a liter, you can buy a flour in a kg. So everything is denominated by a individual unit. While if we talk about the barter system, it was not available. So everything can be have or it is counted in a particular unit. Now store of value, the demerit or the disadvantage of the barter system is we can't store their services, we can't store their goods. You can store the pen for a longer period of time, but you can't store the food for the longer duration of time. But with the help of the money, evolution of money as a medium of exchange, we can explore or store those values. If someone has deposited 10,000 rupees 10 years ago, it will ultimately increase that amount, not reduce that amount. So this is overall the money and its contribution in this world. Now, why this digital currency is in the news, why it is required, and why this is supposed to be the very hot topic of current scenario. On the 1st November, the RBI rolled out the first pilot digital rupees, e-rupees. As you all know, the rupees is been denominated by the rupee symbol. So it is e-rupees. It is launched on the 1st of November, or the e-rupees in the wholesale segment for the government securities. For the government securities, the e-rupees is being launched as a digital rupees, so you may buy or avail the various services launched by the Reserve Bank of India. Now, what is our digital currency? The oral question remains is, what is digital currency? It involves the digital transaction in the electronic form. As you all know, when the digital is there, all the transactions are into the digital form. Do not require intermediaries. It do not require any kind of intermediaries. Is often the cheapest method for trading the currencies. It is the one of the known as the cheapest method for trading the currencies, just because it reduces the cost of transactions, it reduces the various time consumption. So there are various benefits of these digital currencies are having their own features here. All the cryptocurrencies, as you all know, that is the form of the digital currency only. It is crypto and it is denominated in a digital form. All the cryptocurrencies are digital currencies, but all the digital currencies are not the cryptocurrencies. It means that all the cryptocurrencies are in a digital form, but all the digital currency are not be encrypted into a currencies form. So this is all about the digital currency. Now, what is fiat money? F-I-A-T, fiat money. When the government issued the currency that is not backed by the commodity such as gold, central bank have a greater control over the economy. Earlier, it is known as a fiat money. When it is not backed by the RBI or by the central bank, it is known as a fiat money. So the currency is issued by the central bank, and when it is not backed by any commodity, it is known as a fiat money. Now, about CBDC. What is CBDC? What is the full form of CBDC? Central Bank for Digital Currency. So the Central Bank for the Digital Currency is one of the initiative led by the RBI, and what they are going to discuss, CBDC is a legal tender. So whatever the digital currency is being issued by the Reserve Bank of India, they are under the control of the RBI, and that all those currencies, digital currency, are backed by the legal tender, and the peoples can't ignore or can't refuse to accept those digital money. They are totally backed by the government, and that is totally backed by the RBI. So issued by the central bank in a digital form, as same as the fiat currency, which is fiat currency like as the notes, coins which we have right now in our pockets. So they are known as a fiat money. It is exchangeable one-to-one with the fiat currency, as like we use in a fiat currency. Central bank for the digital currency can be transacted using the wallets backed by the blockchains. So blockchains are also available, their functions are available. You can avail or you can save those money in your wallet provided by the various companies as a wallet form. In keeping those money in a digital form, you can use whenever it is required. Now, what is money flower? What is money flower? And you can see the flow charts and how they are performing and how they are working. So here the widely accessible, the bank deposit, you can see the various terms you coined over here, that the bank deposits are there. So what that includes? So what the digital includes, it includes the bank deposit, it includes the central bank reserves and the settlement accounts, central bank accounts, central bank digital tokens. So the digital currency is a part of tokenization. So means the currencies are issued in a token form also, so that the fraudulent activities and the risk can be stopped or can be filtered, can be traced. So the private digital tokens are also one of the part. So these are the initiative taken by the RBI to track the fraudulent activities or the various transactions loss done with the help of physical money or a digital money. So they have the RBI launches the various issue. So these are the flowers, and it's self-explanatory what the central bank, what a token based it includes. It includes the token based, includes the central bank digital tokens, central bank tokens, private digital tokens. So these are the digital central bank issue. What it issued the these portion. These include the cash, central bank issued by the cash also. So like as they have given, these are the various portion. Now why there is a need? Is it required? It is really required to issue the digital currency. Yeah, there are some of the answers are there, some of the questions answers are there. The first one is online transaction. Online transaction. During the online transaction, the digital currency is very helpful. So it do not require to keep the physical money in your pockets. So with the help of your internet connectivity, if you are financially sound, financially knowledgeable sound, you can avail these services. So in the case of an online transaction, India is a leader in a digital payment, but the cash remains dominant for the small value transaction. The RBI clearly mentioned, so these are the supplementary part. The physical currency are not going to be removed from the market. These are the options given to the people, to the general public. They may use the digital currency option. So during the online transaction, the digital currency are available and the physical mode of currency is also available during these portion. The second one is the high currency in a circulation. So since as you all know, the government it includes the various costs while printing these notes and melting these coins, forming these coins in the mint house. So it includes the various costs to cut that cost and make them the cost effective. So the high currency circulation is also there. So the digital currency is one of the option creating a space in that circulation. So this is the requirement of the digital currency. Now the cost of currency management, as I right now I was discussing about the cost, and cost is one of the key factor which each and every individual, a company, institution, or they are concerned about it, that an official digital currency would be reduce the cost of the currency management while enabling the real-time payment without any interbank settlement. So it do not require any interbank settlement. They, with the help of a digital transaction, the one branch can or one bank can transfer their amount to the another bank, and with these digital payment transactions they can settle their account. Now the second one is the growth of the cryptocurrencies such as the Bitcoins, Ethereum, etc. has raised the challenge to the fiat currencies. Yeah, this was the one of the great challenge for the fiat currencies which are right now, which we people are having the notes and the coins, just because major of the people started using the Bitcoins and these cryptocurrencies for their transaction. So with the growth of these revolution of the cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and these currencies, the major youth people are shifted towards these cryptocurrencies, and RBI early makes very clear that we are not responsible if any kind of fraudulent activities is led by these cryptocurrencies. So if it is a fraudulent activity, just because it is not backed by the Reserve Bank of India. So when the amount or the digital initiative is backed by the Reserve Bank of India, the Reserve Bank of India is solely responsible if any kind of the fraudulent activity done by these initiatives. So there was a need for this. Now the features of the central bank digital currency. What are the various features of these central bank digital currency? As the first, high security instrument is there. High security instrument, data safety is there, data security is there, and the overall the currencies transactions are highly safe with the help of these digital bank services. So unified identifiable means a UPI, as you all know, while your doing the transaction for the different customers, we use the UPIs. The liability of the central bank is also available, the various liabilities are there, and transferability. So this is a feature you can easily transfer from the one portion to the another portion as a central bank of digital currency. Now what are the various benefits? You have to discuss about the benefit, because the people, when they are going to avail these services, so there are various benefits which is available while using the digital banking services. Now the convenience and the security of the digital form, you need not to carry those amounts in your pockets. You are not be think about how we have to make the payment digitally, means physical currency must be there with ourselves. So it improves the cross-border transactions. If you want to send the amount to the America at your family members, so digitally you can transfer these amounts. easier policy implementation and the regulation. If you have any kind of a, policy implementation, like from today onwards we are going to deduct this amount, or we are going to include this percentage in your salary, you can easily implement easily and immediately with the help of these digital currencies. Now the imaginated the risk of the losses that Indian depositors faces. So this mitigated the risk of the whatever the loss or the huge amount of the loss is there, that can be minimized with the help of Indian depositors what they have saved. The safer alternative to the bank deposit, there is a safer portion which is available to the bank deposit whatever they have deposited. Reduce the dependency on cash. You are not always ready to dependable on the cash. As you all know, the measure of the cities and the measure of the shopkeepers, now they are equipped with a QR scanner, QR codes, and digital payment services they are providing. So digital banking services is also available. Now reduce the settlement of the risk. You can have these reduced settlement of risk, just because earlier if you make the payment in the future and you just forgot I've made how much I've made the payment, but with the help of the digital transaction or the digital currencies, you have the list of the amount which is transferred to whom, which you have transferred just with the help of that bank statement. So these are the various benefits of these central bank digital currencies. Now how it works, the major portion is how this is going to work. The central bank of the digital currency are based on the blockchain technology. As you people are also aware about the blockchain technology is there. It classified into the two parts, the wholesale and the retail section. The wholesale, the e-currencies are being available with the bank, and the retail currencies are available with the retailers. So it's bifurcated in two parts. Here we are going to discuss about the wholesale central bank of the digital currencies. The large amount of the transaction the banks is having, they are having a numerous n number of the transaction into their account. It will be used by the large financial institutions like as a bank. So 9 banks: State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank of India, SDFC, ICICI, Kotak Mahindra, Yes Bank, SDFC First Bank, and the HSBC has been identified as the participation for the pilot. So this is the pilot project, and the 9 banks are the part of these wholesale central bank digital currencies. Now the wholesale in a huge amount is available, and the n number of transactions are available at that banks. So the retail central bank digital currency is used by the people for the everyday transaction, like we people are use n number of the transaction every day. So we are the part of the retail. So this will start at select the location and banks first. All age groups will be included based on their experience. The features will be changed if it is required. So if it is required while doing the transaction, like while doing the KYCs, it requires the 18 plus must be the age group must be there. So the retails are there, and if as per the requirement, if it is required, they are going to change their various rules and regulations. Now the central bank, retail central bank digital currency models are there, like account based compared with the token based access. So here this is account based and this is a digital based. So just look at the difference, and with the help of the graph we are going to explain that account that I am there for I own. I am A, transfer 1 from my account C's account. So when it approaches to the bank for the transfer, it's the ID of A, and then they comes at the bank and it executes the A's identity with the help of the KYC. Yeah, A having there its own Aadhaar card or whatever. So it is identifies as the account based transaction. Now digital token, I know there are I own that when the digital transactions are there, there is no requirement for these manual works. The A is the encrypted, having its own encrypted code. It transfer private, I having my own encrypted code, QR code. It transfer to the general verified by the institution which is having its own setup. So with the help of these platform, it immediately transfer and gives the signal to the major portion or the mainstream portion who is going to execute the transaction. So these are the various difference between these central bank of the digital currencies. Now architecture of these retail central bank of digital currency, what are the architectures? It is indirect, it is direct, it is hybrid. Both the portions are available. If it is indirect central bank, Central bank, commercial bank, merchant and the person. So central bank provides the amount to the commercial bank provides to the merchant, and it also provides the loan to the general public. It is a traditional one which I am trying to explain you. And here if the merchant wants the loan, it approaches towards the commercial bank and commercial bank approaches towards the central bank. So this is the indirect central bank digital currency. Now the direct digital currency, what it would be, the bank, central bank is directly in touch with the general public. They can immediately ask for the loan to the central bank, and the central bank can immediately provide the loaning facility through the merchant and all those. So this is the direct one. And now the hybrid one, that the payment service providers are being as a mediator between the central bank and the general public. So these payment service providers taking the place of the commercial bank, and rest all the things are same. Now, so these are the various architectures of the central bank digital currencies. Now how it differ from the cryptocurrency? As one line I have discussed earlier also, all the digital currency, all the cryptocurrencies are a digital currency, but all the digital currency are not cryptocurrency. So this is the statement must be you people know that the first one, it is digital currency is a centralized and it is launched by the Reserve Bank of India. The second one, it requires the verification. The proper verification would be there. Your KYC, your rules, your documentation, each and everything would be done. Not transparent. The digital currency, it is means totally not transparent. It is regulated by the central bank. Now, the first one, the cryptocurrency, is a decentralized, a different part, partial autonomy, and a transparent, no regulatory authority. This is the one of the major portion why the RBI ignores to take the risk of cryptocurrencies. It no regulatory authority to control the cryptocurrency. No one is authority has said that we are going to control these cryptocurrency. Now issue of central bank digital currency, it impact on the deposit and the financial intermediation. It impact on the deposit and the financial intermediation. The another one is the digital run, the digital bank run. It is the various issues comes on while initiating the digital bank currency, digital bank and central bank digital currency. So digital bank, it requires the digital setup and all those. Impact on the private lend innovations, because since the currencies or the digital currency, the private players would also be on the part, so there is a need for the backed by the government or backed by the RBI. It impact on the data and the privacy. Since the beginning I am always discussing, this is the major portion, the major part where the data and the privacy is required. Now the scenario for the other countries, how the other countries are performing and what they are doing, you can see in the world map that the 81 countries representing over the 90% of the globe GDP are exploring this central bank digital currency. 90% of the globe, they are contributing the GDP just with the deduction of the cost, with the reduction of the cost, they are availing the services of the 90% in the 81 countries. They are using the central bank digital currency units, and the benefits are provided at the different stage. Now the first one is the pilot stage, and the pilot stage is this one, is the green one, and it is the green one which shows the pilot project which has been launched at the private one. The pilot one, the 14 countries have tested the pilots, the China, yuan, they have launched. This is the currency of the China. A renminbi and the yuan are the two currency launched by, and it is the currency of the China. So yuan they have launched, and the South Korea, Sweden, korana are the pilot project launched by the bank. Now the scenario in the other countries, the 16 countries are such currencies are in developing phase. They are at a developing stage which are trying to develop these 16 countries. So the 32 countries in the research phase, that the USA, UK, Mexico, they are at the portion, and the live which are presently they are working and they are doing the research. India is the portion of the research. You can find the red one as the research portion, where the different countries are having exploring these things as a part of research. These are the portion where it is a live, and the countries are trying to explore all those things, that how this central bank and the digital currencies are effective, and how they are launching and how they are benefited to the different peoples. So the live CBDCs, the Burmas and the Nigeria and the 700 countries are Eastern and the Caribbean unions they are trying to test about the research. So what is the way forward? What is the way forward? What are the scope are there with the help of these central bank digital currencies? To robust the data security system. So once the company or the bank start focusing and ensures the data security, the major portion of the project is being secured, system will have to be set up to prevent the data breaches. Once the data breach or once the data leakage is there, the whole of the project goes found fraud. Okay? Now it is important to employ the right technology. Once the right technology is being employed, so it will definitely ensure the success of this projects. So the need to enforce the strict KYC. The government is very much serious about the know your customer. The documentation portion must be strictly implied it at its end that each of the customer must be the original one having its own identity in this accounts. So various the rules and the norms are there. Need to popularize the electronic platform of the currency. It requires, it has a various scope and a large scope to popularize these currencies. So overall, with the conclusion portion, so let me tell you about the digital currency. It has a wider scope in upcoming days, and government is very much serious about the digital currency, people making them aware, making them acknowledge about these currencies and how they are cost effective and benefit to the both the parties, either from the first portion, means either from the first party or from the second party, both the parties are benefited. And with all these I conclude, and thank you so much. With all these, thanks a lot.